All right, and we're back. Let's check the sound. Check 1, 2. Yep, seems to be working. So, so at least I'm able to restart the display manager. I haven't tried yet to check out. Let's list the providers first. So monitors, sure. Providers. It does say something about the number of CRTCs. Is that for CRTs, like for monitors? Is that an old thing? Might be. Can we still access Nvidia? We can, and also from as a regular user. And it's some of the latest driver. Okay. So one thing we can try is to wrap to override the Nvidia package such that it's the video driver we want. And I think that that's probably an important thing to do in any case. So let's do this. Nix packages override Nvidia driver. So yeah. GF410 is broken. In configuration to the last commit. Okay, so it's actually NixOS unstable pinned with a specific name, and it's pinned to a particular version. And then this is used for the kernel package. Yeah, that makes sense. Nix config the packages override. I think that's the way it's done. Right. That's exactly where because this actually inserts the Nvidia _x11 driver. But that it's not bad, but it's not perfect. It's not exactly what we want. We might want this information. Can we pin with flakes? Pinning Nix packages with flakes. I like to use face as they make pinning easy. Yeah, that's what I would think, but pinning, Essentially, that comments like Nix shell, Nix packages package work more efficiently since many or all of the dependencies of package will already be present. Okay, so that's a slightly different thing. Here's a bit of an NixOS configuration that pins Nix packages in the system-wide flake registry. This only affects commands that reference Nix packages without further qualifiers, more specific flake references like blah. Okay, so that's if I want to install remote flakes and whatnot. I wonder if that where was it, the Nix GL? Yeah, is that available as a flake? It has default.nix, so no. I have issues about flakes. Well, the Nix package is a flake, so all the inputs have to be listed explicitly, blah. 10 gazillion Nvidia installer versions will need to be listed explicitly. So it means that the hack using /proc detected Nvidia version won't work anymore. A flake cannot have impure inputs, so one cannot use built-in current time to force a reread of that file. One solution that suggests hard-code the list of Nvidia driver versions, place each driver in attribute, statically exist as outputs to the proc lookup, and pick the right package at runtime. If the user knows the Nvidia version ahead of time, they can directly use the NixGL, NixNvidia.version in the config and possibly symlink. Okay, where did this go? Leave output of a flake. MacNix significantly added one. I tried turning NixGL into a flake without having auto-detection, and it works. I had to hardcode the choice between NixGL Intel and NixGL Nvidia, and I had to hardcode a specific Nvidia version. Making different output for the flake would allow multiple versions to be available in NixFlake show. I'm afraid doing so would mean that the driver for every Nvidia version would be downloaded just to evaluate the flake. Not sure how flake would mix with providing a wrap function. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Four, 5, 5. Oh. But what? That's strange. Let's look at the master branch. Doesn't seem generated. So I suppose we could just write that down, huh? And then import the flake. Would that just work? Why does it has Nix packages as an input? Because it does core package. And it needs the nixgl.nix. Passes it as and specify overrides some specific versions, but then uses the NixGL Intel from that, which I don't understand what that means. Okay, I suppose if I read the doc a bit, it will tell me. NixGL Intel, Mesa OpenGL implementation. Ah, okay, I see. And it also has the Vulkan, but oh, it has the Vulkan Nvidia, yeah. So that's kind of what I would like to try, I think. But I don't like the fact that it creates a wrapper. I don't want a wrapper. I just want the things to just work without me having to call a wrapper. To hard code blah blah. I'm not sure how a flag would mix with providing a wrap function to be available in other flags. Should the flag have a dummy derivation and provide another norm derivation of representative wrap function? Should it just be a regular Nix file which is somehow imported by another flag? Yeah, this all seems quite nice. Also prevents using NixGL, Nvidia, and other flags. NixGL as a non-flake input. What's this? Oh. Flake equal false. NixGL equal blah. And then import home default.nex. What's in home default.nex? Inject GL is an overlay that gets imported in the home manager. I think that means just the wrappers. But that might be a good configuration. It's quite close to what we have currently, so not too much off the beaten path. These home CFGs. Activation package, what is that? Int M. home manager configuration. That must be a home manager thing. Yeah, like two types of homes, maybe. Some activate thing in there. I think that's probably very specific to this user's way of doing things. This is NixOS Intel. It's common Nix. Seems to have all of the overlays. Let's try and find out what this activation thing is. Home manager activate. Activate. Run the activate script. Rollback. So I think it's to do a switch. Starting home manager activation. Let's see if we can find our home manager. How are we gonna even find this? Can I Nix store query? Home manager. Not in the Nix store. I suppose I could grab. Unit home manager, there's a derivation. File. What is it? It's the generation. Generation.drv. Generation. Okay. Alright, there's an activate script. Let's see what's in it. Exporting the path. Doing some generation management thing. I'm not sure that this is the same activate that the user was using here. I think let's check out. Let's see what if activation package is something that's part of the repo here. Definitely is. It's default.nix. Inherited. Home.activation package. Present news. home data activation package. To know true, the package containing the complete activation script. Yeah, so I think it's to do environment switching. That it's right there. It might allow to just do home dash in temp and then switch. Using the activation script of the respective home manager profiles. So that NixGL intel gets passed. And these NixGL are passed as overlays. Yeah, I'm hesitating because I'm not sure I want to use the wrappers. But that someone definitely knows what he's talking about and has the dot files to show for it. Does he do the pinning that he mentions? I'm not sure he does. Import, this might be it actually. Inputs nixgl.packages, nixgl.input.nixpackages.follow. So it's not exactly that. But I suspect that's actually the same thing. That allows to do the, oh right, it's right here. A home manager, home manager follows Nix packages. Okay, so that's some new information here. Let's see if we can use that. Flake. So I suppose this is a version of trying to do this. Is that the case? I did home manager NixOS module dot home manager here. Home manager NixOS modules dot home manager. There's no equivalent for this in here. But this is not an NixOS system, though. Right? It's not. Yeah, non-NixOS. Non-NixOS system. So that's cool, but not what we want. It's a laptop and dev box. Both hosts has non-NixOS, Arch Linux and OpenSUSE. Both host configuration manage the same user, but usernames are different. Dev box allowed to install every software, laptop is not. Laptop is being vertically migrated to new configuration, runs Wayland. Dev box is a headless non-NixOS machine with user environment. Interesting. Interesting, but not exactly applicable to us then, although this seems doable, and I wonder whether this would be the same as this, although this seems to be user specific, such that several users could be following different channels, which is an interesting thought. Yeah, I'm pussyfooting around here. Being a little bit indecisive as to where to go next. Our packages is Nix package legacy package right there. So oopsie, not at all what I wanted to do. That's an interesting. But let packages, but packages are actually not used later. They are here. Okay, in the home config. So okay, import home default. That's the equivalent of home.nix here, and passing packages, but also passing other things. Yeah. But I'm surprised. Then, yeah, no, it's because it's not NixOS, so there's no real. I mean, it's a bit weird about then how are things tied? How does this NixGL thing work without having all the kernel modules? I mean, I suppose like the version of the kernel modules, or that must need to be modified manually. So that's definitely not what we want. But here, though, that's quite interesting, right? That's calls NixGL Intel. What's here? Yeah, so it takes the Nvidia version hash file and such, and then call the nixgl.nix. Right, call the nixgl.nix with those specific versions here. And yeah, and then exposes these different executables. Really, is what they are. Write executable. Yeah. So where is that coming from? The write executable. Writes a text file, and then on shell check. Okay, what is done with the text here? I don't. Oh, it must be inherent in write text file. It inherits name and text, so it will have that, and then it checks afterwards. Yeah, so it's just creating a just creating a bash, an executable bash file with the text in it, right? And so yeah, that becomes the way that those text files are created. Right. So NixGL or NixVulkan Nvidia managed these aliases here. And that does seem quite cool. And these are just wrappers. So I suppose that if I got a Vulkan compatible driver, then I could also use the Nvidia GL wrapper as well, right? There's no reason why I wouldn't. But this, how would this manage the? How does this manage the kernel driver? That I'm not sure. But let's give that a shot. So it's actually going to be a bit of a mix of the two approaches, in fact, right? So we are going to need the history. We're going to need that dot file because I want to do the input in the same way. The fact that it's, well, it's actually, it is going to be a flake for us since we're going to try to use that. I suppose we use a local thing. Yeah. How are we going to use a local thing? We actually, no, what we'd like to do ideally is to wrap. Yeah, we're going to, yeah, so we call this, so probably going to be slash nix glflake.nix, I think, and then that's going to contain this thing, and then we'll do, yeah, it's going to contain this thing, but with different settings, right? Okay, let's try. NixGLFlake. You know what? Let's call it NixGL.nix. And I'm not sure we need all of that stuff. So let's yank it. Okay. Seem to not really know how to do this. Yeah. Lack of yeah. Lack of Vim skills. Oh, I know how to undo though. And yeah, we'll do NixGL Nvidia. And we'll I suppose we can yeah, we can try that driver. Why not 28? Sure. And we rename this NixGL. And so yeah, the tricky bit is going to be how to then pass this NixGL driver to the kernel. and actually even to X. Yeah, it's quite unclear how to do that. Because we'll have executables and we'll have some drivers, but how do we use those? Like, I suppose it's the fact that this is not for NixOS. On NixOS, if the system is installed with different Nix packages cloned than the one your application are installed with. Yeah. Not thinking this is going to work for us, actually. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yeah, this is a little bit unclear. Okay. Override. NixOS flake package overrides. And let's even try and see whether anyone's doing this for Nvidia specifically. NixOS configuration is flakes. How to override? Yeah. No Nvidia here, but incorporate config Nix with multiple build environment style packages using NixOS. Following is basic config Nix that makes use of package overriding. This can be achieved in a more optimal way by using Nix flakes. Flakes, Nvidia, Vulkan. Looks like you need to set config video to include Nvidia. Better documentation. Yes, you do. Having access to the sources. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is quite convoluted. Yeah, and that's not enough, in fact, for us to replace the Nvidia driver. Okay. The modified front end. Okay, I'll take a look. Next run, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it seems like maybe there's things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. Like Nix search, Nix packages, and Vulkan. Aha. Yes, definitely should have been doing that. Except, how do we get this into our Nix configuration? Oh, right, by doing, yes. So Linux packages 419. Like so. Will that work? I think it might. Well, it's easy to know because rebuild should tell us if we made a mistake here. It's inconsistent. And yeah, this gives us a sense. I mean, it's not very recent compared to the version that we have running right now. I think we have version 460 or something. Yeah, 460.39 with like CUDA 11.2. But this is all maybe too recent. I quite like the idea of trying something a little bit older. And we are getting it. Okay, so that's useful. And it should, yeah, I think we won't be able to just restart the display manager here. we'll need to reboot. But it's past my time as well, so that's not necessarily the worst thing to finish on. So thanks for telling us about the usability, the things that you've been typing a lot, because I wasn't typing those a lot, and I should have been typing those a lot. Evaluation caching. The beginning edge, 3 years ago. Build server by a different GPU. Multiple X servers can have different driver dependencies. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this driver will do with the list of providers. Oh, loading space on boot. Okay. Well, that might be it for me. I probably won't come back online after I reboot. So yeah, so I'll see you on Thursday and for some PureScript. Thanks for following, and bye bye.